In the USA, nearly 88% of people who decide to follow Jesus do so between the ages of 4 and 14. This quote by Dan Brewster has been labeled the 414 window and is known widely across churches as children's ministry. This is a place where kids can come and learn about God and Jesus on their own level. Hello, my name is Savannah Brock, and over the past 15 weeks, I have spent time at Crosspoint Church in the PreK classroom of their children's ministry. Crosspoint Church has a unique volunteer history. 12 years ago, this church was a tiny church plant, and anybody who was on the volunteer staff served every single weekend. They wanted to make sure that God's work was completed through this, and so they were willing to serve every weekend. About 3 years in, we had enough volunteers that we could input a rotation schedule. At this time, we were able to do a 2-on, 4-off rotation schedule, which is very unheard of. This allowed families to take care of everything that needed to be taken care of in their own home, as well as continuing God's work. As the church has grown and different campuses have sprung up as sister partners, we have had a lot more volunteer positions open up. And because of that, my internship was to create a fully functional and healthy team through the recruitment, training, and retention of 4 lead teachers and 3 to 5 assistants in the PreK classroom. To better explain why this goal is so important, I want to share with you 3 key aspects of a healthy and functioning team. Following that, I'm going to share with you where we were successful, areas we need to grow in, and the knowledge that I personally have gained from this. But first, I want to show you the classroom where this internship took place. This tree is very central. It's a very key focal point as parents walk in the room, as kids walk in the room. It changes with the seasons, it changes with our curriculum. Our last curriculum was the fruits of the Spirit, and so it became a fruit tree. Here we have a flannel graph board. Different curriculums have flannel graph pieces that we're able to use, and the kids are able to manipulate them and be a part of the story. Currently we are in creation, and so for each number we have the day that God created with what He created in it. The next board we have is our art board. This is a place that we have all the kids' art goes up on, where every weekend we have an art lesson that goes with our lesson that week to help the kids remember what they learned. Behind me you see a window that parents walk by so they can see what their kids are learning. When kids walk in, they can look at the board and go, oh yeah, when I did that fishing pole, I was learning about how Jesus calls people to serve with Him. We have our teacher cupboards here. We keep our cleaning supplies and our snacks up and out of reach. We also have special toys that come out so that they're new and exciting all the time. We have our Who Serves Us board and our cubbies. Our Who Serves Us board is for the teachers, and through it we can, I'll talk about it later, put teacher appreciation gifts up, or announcements, or teacher pictures, anything that we really want to express with our volunteers there. Our cubbies are for the kids. It gives them a place that they can call their own. We have erasables on them, so they write their names. Sometimes we write their names, but it gives them a sense of security. Over here is one of our major areas of the classroom. It's sectioned off a little bit more because it's a dramatic play area. The kids come here, they can play out lessons, they can play out life, they can just have fun. But this is a very key area, and so that's why it's sectioned off a little bit more. I want to come back to the carpet we have here on the floor because it is very important as a teacher. It has different colors, different numbers, different shapes, and as the kids come and learn their lesson, or we have big team announcements, they can pick a place to sit, a color, a number, a letter, something that's significant to them. And then as a teacher, we can have, like, Tommy or Timmy is being disruptive to the class, and we can say, hey, I need you to go to the blue S for me, please. And they will. My supervisor and mentor during this internship was Jessica Bollett. She's the children's ministry pastor and the immediate supervisor over me. Everything that I have done in this internship, Jess has had her hands in some way, shape, or form, and I would not be able to complete the internship as well as I have without her. Going forward in this taking care of the pre-K team, I'll be spending a lot of time with Laura Wood, who's the children's ministry coordinator for the early childhood wing of the Crosspoint's Kids Life. Laura and I have spent many hours working together and will continue to spend many hours working together as we build the health up of this team, and we are the hands and feet to the children that Jesus sends into the Kids Life ministry. During my time spent with Jess, Laura, and in the research that I did, I've discovered there are 3 key aspects to creating a healthy and functioning team. They are recruitment, team building, and self-leadership. When I started this internship, I thought that recruitment was going to be my main priority. But just as with anything in life, we have to have a solid base in something. And for a team, that solid base is self-leadership. The first aspect of self-leadership is making sure that you are attending services and getting time alone with God, because through that you're going to understand better what God has in store for you, and you're going to continue to learn and have that fellowship with other believers. The second part is to pause. Take time to take care of your family, your work, your self-care. You need to make sure that you're thoroughly cared for. I've been told time and time again that you cannot serve from an empty cup. The third way that we do self-leadership is through mentorship or through reading curriculum. Personally, I found the first of 3 books that I studied with Jess is The 4 Dimensions of Extraordinary Leadership by Jenny Catron, Connect, How to Double Your Volunteers by Nelson Searcy and Jennifer Henson. The third is Through Courageous Leadership by Bill Hybels. The next step in healthy teams is building a healthy team is team building. It's pretty self-explanatory. We want to have a solid and cared for teams, and in order to discover if people were feeling cared about, Jess and I created an evaluation. Although my evaluation contained 12 questions, I'm only going to share with you the 5 that we gained the most information from. The first is Crosspoint Leadership celebrates team and individual successes. We received very low grades in this, and because we received this information, going forward we already have plans in place of ideas and events that we can do to make sure that team and individuals' successes are recognized and celebrated. Almost immediately upon receiving this information, we were able to create a teacher appreciation gift, which we put on the Who Serves Us board because that's what it's there for. It was a movie night, so we put their name, we had a Redbox code, and we gave them a bag of popcorn for a quick, easy thank you, and gave them a night to enjoy themselves. The second where we received the lowest grades is I feel that there's great purpose in my role as a pre-K teacher or assistant. During the internship, we were not able to complete anything specific to this, but going forward, we are going to be checking in with teams and learning about the stories that they have with the kids, with the parents, what they've learned, what was successful. And I truly believe that this is going to be something that's going to enable people to feel that their purpose is great. The third one is, does Crosspoint's vision get met of all kinds of kids discovering and following Jesus in significant, safe, and exciting ways met in the classroom? This one we received 100% in our feedback, which is very exciting. The second is through the initial training, assistant training is clear and understandable. We received 2/3 were successful and happy. The last final third shows that we still have a great room for improvement and that we're clear and understandable. The final one I have is the list areas that you desire ongoing training in. 3/4 of our team members were satisfied with this, but we still have a need for training in equipment and classroom management and being able to teach kiddos above, like toddlers, so we can teach in our toddler, our kinder, our pre-K. Finally, we have reached the top of the pyramid, which is recruitment. One of the things my research brought to light is that when a team has a good leadership team above it and is being well taken care of, recruitment can happen almost naturally and like there's no work to it at all. However, this does not remove the importance of asking people. The first way that we can do this is through asking within our team. There may be services that not everyone coming in wants to, it may be a harder service to attend, get to, asking the team to switch services or to cover extra shifts is the first way we can get our team covered. The second is the recruitment event. Crosspoint Church set up a recruitment event. They had tables and booths out in the plaza with explaining what openings we had, what needed to be filled, and then we made it available to the entire church. The third is through meeting with people personally. Greg Bard has spent many years in recruitment and training and leading teams, and he has come up with this acronym titled RELATE. It's to relish the opportunity to lead, establish relationships for the sake of relationships, not recruiting. Learn about people, their personalities, learning styles, etc., and apply it to a relationship. Accept individuals as individuals, don't force them into a box. Talk first about your vision, not the position, and enlist people because you know their hearts. Now we get to my favorite part of the internship, the parts where we were successful. During my time at the internship, we were able to have an entire team come in and be fully staffed and trained to take over one of our services. We have had people switch from maybe a 5:45 service to a 9 a.m. service, and so that everybody has come together and we've been able to keep the classroom open and functioning so that when people come in, there's a place for them. I've learned that others are important, but if I do not care for myself, then I cannot care for others. Self-leadership, self-care, very vital. The second is through, the idea is to meet a goal, but to give God room to be moving us in the way that He wants us to be. So we can't be married to that plan. We have to be moldable. During the internship, I have dealt with quite a few health issues that made it nearly impossible for me to complete any work. Personally, schoolwork, going to my job. But what I discovered is God is in control. My health issues didn't hinder His plan being met. I thought that my job during this internship was to create a completely fully staffed, healthy, functioning team. But the reality of it was God said, oh, thank you for opening this door. I want to train you to care for my team, care for my people. That's your job. And I will take care of the rest. I have had many relationships both within the church and outside of the church that have grown because I have learned this self-leadership. I have learned to care for others and to allow God to move us. Going forward with this new knowledge, I get to ask what's next for me. Currently, I am the PreK coordinator assistant at Crosspoint Church, and I am a teacher at Bright Start Preschool in Temecula, California. Going through this internship, God has solidified that I am pursuing a dream that He has given me with passion and tools that He has provided me with so that I can continue with this. With that being said, I hope to one day be on staff as a children's ministry director here at Crosspoint. And I currently am being trained to take over the preschool for my aunt when she's ready to retire. The last thing I want to leave you with is Proverbs 16:9. It says in the English Standard Version, we can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. When God intervenes, it can make us feel agitated and frustrated and like we're never going to make it. We have this place that we're starting at, and we have this goal of we want to get to this place. And we can have this perfect plan. And as soon as we let God in, He's going to say, thank you. I've got this. Thank you for opening these doors. Now let me show you what I can do through this. And even though it's going to seem like this is all falling apart, God works everything we have together for His glory and His glory alone.